views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready. This is the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks, live from Las Vegas, the #1 teen talk show. Today I am incredibly excited because I have the most amazing man on the show today, and I mean, truly, he's a real life hero, and he even flies around, so he really is a hero. But I think he's just phenomenal, and I know you guys will too. You probably already heard of him, and now we're going to get to actually talk to him and learn a little more about him because I think he's awesome. So we have the one and only Paul Steklenski. How are you, Paul?
I am good. How are you guys?
I am great. And Paul, truly, you're part of you are the Flying for Animal Rescue, and I mean, it is the most amazing thing, and I really hope a lot of people will know more about it and actually pay attention to it because it's incredible. So why don't you explain a little bit about what it is and what you do?
Sure. So I founded Flying for Animal Rescue in May of 2015. In August of, I should say actually it was closer to the spring, no, it was the fall of 2013, we adopted Tessa, who was my own rescue dog, one of two. And at the time, I had no real cognizance of animal rescue or anything beyond that. You know, when most people go, they want to adopt a pet, they think a pet store, they think of something like that. Until you actually educate yourself, you don't really know what the landscape is like. And through that process of adopting Tessa from a facility nearby that's a rescue center, she came up from Tennessee with a litter, you know, with her entire family. You have this whole education that you didn't know about. You weren't aware of that. You know, this predicament exists for thousands, if not, you know, millions of animals every year. So she really opened my eyes to a problem that I didn't know was there. And at the time, I was learning how to fly, and as I completed my lessons to become a licensed pilot, I realized that I had a skill now that I could use to help move these animals from kill shelters to these no-kill shelters where I live, and actually make a difference with, you know, an ability that I had. So I like to tell people, I didn't choose this path; it was chosen for me. When I look back and I look at all of the things that occurred and the timeline that it occurred in, I realized I was just there. All I had to do was continue to follow what I was doing, and it was going to happen for me. I didn't consciously choose to do this. It was chosen for me.
Well, I have to say, I mean, there's a lot of people that care about animals, and there's a lot of people that have pilots license and stuff, but I don't think a lot of people would think of something like that and risk so much, and that's a lot of sacrifice, and you have to take time off of work and everything, and you're flying all around, and I mean, that really is so amazing, and and you could tell of how good of a heart you have, because that's really a lot of work. And even my one friend's a pilot, and he was telling me all about it, and it's a lot of work that people don't even realize goes into that. And so to do that with all the animals, I mean, and to even think about doing that, I mean, truly phenomenal. I mean, that's so cool.
You know, I thank you for that. It's my passion. When I realized, you know, with my ability to fly, you know, one of the first things that I learned organization-wise was organizations that go by angel flight throughout the country that help get sick kids and people to specialized care that they need. And as a new pilot, you're not qualified to do that. You need hours of experience. You need certifications. There's things that you need to build up. You simply can't participate in that in the very beginning. You don't need any special qualifications to start flying animals from a kill shelter to a no-kill shelter, which is literally, you know, no pun intended, took off from there. And it's just a passion I have. Again, adopting Tessa and the experience that it's had and that I've had through her and everything that went on, you see the happiness, you see the change you can make, that immediate impact of taking a half a day off of work and a few $100s, and next thing you know, you saved another dozen animals from a kill environment to an unkill environment. And it's just indescribable. The sense of satisfaction you get is it's just like nothing else.
Oh yeah, and you know, we have a rescue too, and you can tell like the love they have and like how thankful they are and stuff. And I mean, I bet you have some absolutely incredible stories with that, because they have to. I mean, I really believe in my heart that they know that you're rescuing them and you're helping them when you get them. So I bet you have some awesome stories. Do you mind sharing a couple?
You know, there's such a gamut. I will say that I can tell on multiple occasions that they do simply know something is different. I mean, people ask me all the time, they think the animals are going to be tense or stressed out during flight, things like that. And it's actually quite the opposite. They're very calm. It's almost as if they already know they're going somewhere better. You know, just when you think you've told a story of the worst or the most stressful or the most emotionally challenging flight you've had, another one comes along. I don't know that I could even pick any one story. I've been through circumstances with the aircraft. We've been through, you know, partial engine failure, landing gear failure, icing, rain, heavy wind, just on the flying side, not to mention on the animal side, the background that they've come from and the abuse and the emotions that you go through. It's actually hard to talk about some of them as you start to process the memories, because you can put yourself back in that day and you remember what it was like. And it's something that still to this day I get emotional about certain rescues, just because of what the circumstances were at that time. I mean, I've seen the gamut, right? I've seen seniors that were abandoned. I've seen puppies that were dumped at a park. I've seen a dog that was used as a bait dog that was literally abandoned in the cemetery and left to die. So it's tough to talk about, but at the same time, it's also very rewarding to know that, you know, we've played a small part in helping get these animals to a new home, to a new life, you know, to a location. It's just it's very emotional.
Oh, I'm sure. And I have to ask, how do you get the dogs, and like how do you what's the choosing process, and how do you find what families they get to and everything? Because I'm sure that's a lot of work in itself. So how do you do all that?
So I primarily work on the transport side. I'm very fortunate to work with rescue organizations in the South and in the North. They're very good at networking and coordinating these animals. So it's literally an underground railroad for animal rescue. I deal with a small nonprofit in the Carolinas that gets animals out of the local sheriff's office that can stray. And a lot of the rescues I work with in the Northeast, they're all no-kill shelters, so I won't transport anybody that isn't. So they network in the background. They have animals come in with intake. They get their veterinary care taken care of. They get their behavioral disposition taken care of. They decide which animals they're going to pull, and then I simply handle the logistics of the transport. So I help save these rescues money, or money that they didn't even have to transport them. I can be the missing link to help get them from point A to point B. So I'm very fortunate to work with rescues and volunteers that pour their hearts and souls and their wallets into this to do their part, so that I'm able to do my part to kind of complete that missing link to get these animals to rescue.
Definitely. And have you ever been out to Vegas? Because that's where we're located. Have you ever done any here? Because I know we have, unfortunately, a lot of kill shelters here and everything, but we also have some awesome foundations out here. So have you ever been to Vegas?
I have not yet, because of the type of aircraft we fly, because, you know, I'm spending $1,000 a month out of my pocket to do this. I work a full-time job. I'm limited in what I can do. There are some other organizations that I learned from early on that work out that way, that also help transport these animals. It's an epidemic. I mean, ultimately, the day that we could shut this organization down is a win, right? That means that we no longer have this problem. Right. So I believe that education is such a huge part of it. Yeah. And one of our goals going forward into the future will be trying to help educate in these areas where these animals are coming from, to get people, you know, to get the mindset, to get the next generation to say, guys, this isn't okay, and you can make a difference. You can stop this problem from happening right where it begins. The day that could happen, you know, it's a win for all of us when we don't have to do this anymore to try to get these animals out of these situations.
Oh, definitely. It's so horrible that you even have to do something like this, because there's so many animals, and that's so it's cool too. You don't just work with dogs or cats. You rescue all different kinds of animals, which is awesome too. There's such a huge problem there, and I agree completely. It has to start with education, and it's a really big problem that we do have to look at for sure.
It is, and we don't discriminate. I don't know who's going to be on a flight until I get an email or a text message from the people I work with, and all I need to know is what the name of the animal is so that we can help identify them and how much they weigh. I don't care who you are, what you are, where you came from. If we can help get you to a better place, then we will. So it's always very interesting, until I show up, I don't know who I'm going to be transporting. I'm going to get to meet all of the dogs or cats or whoever it is at that point. And I try to spend a few minutes with each one to kind of calm them down before we put them on the plane and assess their behavior and say, is this guy going to be okay here? Do I need to put him here? Not only, obviously the transport and the animal rescue is the focus, but keeping them comfortable from the start to the finish is also a primary focus. So it's always very important to me that they're as comfortable as they can be, while they're with me during that time.
Oh, definitely. And so what other type of animals have you rescued besides the dog and cat? What are some of the other ones that you've flew?
Dogs and cats have primarily made up the entire gamut since we've started. I have requests on occasion for other types of animals, but sometimes the logistics are more difficult depending on where they're coming from and going to. So today it's just been dogs and cats. Of every breed, of every shape, of every size, of every color you could imagine. But yeah, just dogs and cats to this point.
Gotcha. And how many animals have you rescued up to this point? How many would you say?
So just with our final flights of 2017, I was very proud to put the 9th paw on the nose of our airplane, and every paw print that goes on the Caliber airplane indicates 100 animals we've saved. So we're just over 900 now since we started in May of 2015. That I've personally come in contact with and helped rescue. So I'm hoping to be well over 1,000 by the time we turn 3 years old in May. So it's a drop in the bucket when you look at how many animals are euthanized every year in this country. But when you look back and you realize the animals you've saved and the ripple effect it has on the people that have adopted them, and then the people that have adopted them and the families you've helped and see come back, and a year or 2 years later, 2 years later, you're seeing the impact it's had. There's nothing that can match that. You see the change that it's made or the effect that it's had on people's lives. It's pretty special.
Wow, I mean that's awesome. I mean, almost 1,000, and hopefully soon 1,000. I mean you should be so proud of yourself. In less than 3 years, that is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
It doesn't feel like a lot. I get a lot of accolades for what I do, but I don't necessarily stop and think about what I've done. I'm constantly looking towards the future and what we can do and how we can do more. So I'm always looking at not what I've done, but where I'm going and what I'm going to do next. So it's kind of surreal for me for people to do so. I'm very happy that people are passionate about what we do. As passionate as I am, it's just hard for me sometimes to kind of take that in, because I'm just focused on the next flight and what dogs need to get out, and what we can do to try to make a difference. So it's I've been very appreciative. I'm very fortunate that so many people support our cause and help us do what we do.
Yeah, and how many times a week do you do this? Is it like once a week, or how many times a month? What's the average you usually do this?
So this is quite literally just twice a month. I get a few extra flights over the holidays. Anytime the scheduling allows, where I can get an extra flight in, or fiscally it allows it. I'm spending $1,000 a month, so that basically allows me to fly twice a month based on what it costs us to operate the aircraft.
Gotcha.
So on average, it's 2 times a month. The goal in the future is to get it to a level where I can take more of my own money to put into this, but right now I'm kind of limited to that amount for what we can do.
Oh yeah. And I actually just saw that you also picked up some stranded pilots very recently. What was the story with that? Because I think that's so cool too.
I did. It was funny. It was a funny twist to the end of the day. We had just landed in Peachtree, New York, and I just dropped off 5 puppies that had come from Project to Seal in the Carolinas. And they were going to Blue Path Service Dogs, and Blue Path Service Dogs raises these puppies that are donated to them to become helper dogs for autistic children. So these dogs will be raised and donated to families with autistic kids to help them live a normal life. And I was at the Poughkeepsie Airport, and there was just the only one airplane on the tarmac, and it was like 10 degrees out. It was very cold. And I got to talking with the pilots that came in while we had the puppies inside, and they're getting acclimated. And, they told me kind of the predicament. The airplane wouldn't start. So I offered and said, look, I'm going back to Pennsylvania. I can give you a lift back to my airport if you like. If you guys thought about it for a minute, said sure. He was out of Maryland. They were coming back from Boston, and they had no other transport. So on the way back to my airport in PA, we actually diverted to Allentown because at that time of night on a Sunday, trying to get a rental car for them is going to be almost impossible. So I said, look, I know I've been to this airport many times. I used to work for a company nearby, so I know you'll have no problem getting a rental car. So we actually diverted to Lehigh Valley International, and I dropped them off there. And I think they were able to, get their rental cars and get where they needed to go. So it was just a nice ending to a good day. It's just a little bit of extra to help some fellow pilots out.
How cool! I mean, that's awesome. And that's one thing I had to say too. You are flying in really kind of scary weather and stuff like that. Do you ever get scared flying like that, or do you just how do you deal with the weather? Because I know that's a lot as well.
The weather is a huge part of the planning. I mean, a large part of being a pilot is weather theory and understanding weather, because weather can change on you very, very quickly, right. And weather can be fatal, it can be deadly. So, yeah, weather's always an issue. We've been fairly fortunate so far this year that when the weather's been clear, it's been clear. But yeah, there's times where you can begin a flight and you assess the risk at the beginning of a flight based on the forecast. But the forecasts are what they are, and things can change very rapidly. So I've been in some very sticky situations where I've had to put the airplane down because of weather. But, if I think we can safely complete a flight, then we'll go ahead with it because the alternative, for these animals is much worse. So, yeah, it's a challenge. There's no question. It's one of the biggest challenges in aviation. And what I do is managing, you can't really manage the weather, right? But the expectation, the forecast, and trying to get an understanding of where it's going to go and making sure that you can get in and out. Hey, we've had flights where I literally had hours to get in and out of a place before the weather was going to turn. So it's an issue on almost every single flight.
Yeah, that's kind of intense, I'm sure. But I mean, that's so cool that you do all that. And and now, like you said, you're self-funded and everything. So how can people help and donate? Because I really think after people hear your story, hopefully a lot of more people will get involved in stuff. So where can people donate and everything for this amazing cause?
So we have a donation page set up on our website. So if you go to flyingfur.org, there's a donation section there. The long-term goals for this rescue are to upgrade the aircraft that we have into something scalable to, say, get to Florida or Georgia or Texas and back in the day. And to get to that point, it's going to cost a lot more money than we have in the coffers now. And the ultimate goal for me is to have a rescue facility up here where not only do I continue to support the rescues that I do right now because they're very good at what they do, but we have our own rescue facility with our own private airstrip, and I have an intake center and a rehab center and an adoption center all in one, so I can help bring these animals in, get them through that process, and then adopt them back out into families. So yeah, just go to flyingfur.org/donate. We have Network for Good options there. We have PayPal. We also have a mailing address that people want to mail in that way. It's going to take a lot of money to get where we need to go, and I'm trying to figure out some ideas now to help fund that towards the future, because this is my passion, and it is what I do. And it's like I like to tell people, as long as I have a pulse and a heartbeat and a paycheck, or a pulse and a paycheck, I'll never stop doing that.
Wow. And I just saw you recently, was it the dodo? I forget who it was. Someone made a huge viral video for you, and it's gotten millions and millions of views. What was that like making that, and did it bring a lot more attention to you guys?
It did. It was actually an interview I did with the dodo. I think sometime last year, and they put some of the footage and they put it into this video and they put it up. And the dodo's been very helpful to us. They've shared our story multiple times on different flights we've had. So it's been fantastic. But this particular one, I guess, just struck a chord, and it really blew me away because I had no idea, that it was coming or it was going to affect people like that. But yeah, I'm very fortunate. Dodo's a great organization. They help us out with these kind of things, and I think so far they've raised somewhere around $25,000 for us.
Wow.
Just from people seeing that video. But I think what I'm most appreciative of is people see our story, and I don't solicit donations. I don't go after people. I want people to come see what we do and say, hey, you know what? If you like this, check it out. Donate. If you don't, that's cool too. So everything we've done to this point has been very passive. So I'm extremely happy and extremely thankful that so many people have engaged in our following and what we do simply because they like it and nobody's twisting their arm to do it. And to me, there's nothing better than that to find like-minded people that simply are as passionate about what you do as you are.
Oh yeah, and I really hope a lot more people will donate and do whatever they can. I mean, even $1 will make a difference because it will add up. So, I mean, really, I think everyone needs to because it's so cool and it's so unique, and you dedicate all your time and effort and money and everything, and it's a lot of work. So, thank you for doing that for all these animals because that truly is just incredible. And where can people follow you and everything, and once again, donate and everything?
So I appreciate that. Thank you. It's my passion. So I don't look at it so much as work as to when I can afford to do the next flight and the animals I can save. But we have, our Facebook page is the best place if you go to Flying for Animal Rescue on Facebook. We have an Instagram feed, so Flying for an Animal, at Flying for Animal Rescue on Instagram. And I just set up Twitter because the dodo shared that video, and so many people clamoring on Twitter, and I didn't have a Twitter account, so Flying for on Twitter. But yeah, we're on social media, and I encourage people to follow along, and again, we're never going to twist your arm if you like what we do. It's my hope that people enjoy what I do and the passion that I have for it when I participate. I mean, we've huge things planned for the years going forward, and I plan to really work hard to make that happen. I don't expect it to happen on its own. I don't expect people to do it for me. We'll be 3 years old in May, and I've worked really hard to get to this point, and I'll continue to work that hard going forward to get us to the next level. So just very appreciative for all of the support we've had so far.
Oh, definitely. And I thank you so much once again for doing all this. And everyone watching this, please, like I said, and I'm sure you can agree, $1 really can make a difference and will add up. And so, I mean, if you can donate more than $1, please do. But whatever you can donate really will make a difference. And I really think everyone should, or have any type of resources that can help. So please go and check it out, and really incredible what you're doing. So thank you so much, and please stay safe out there, and God bless, and I think you're awesome. And once again, it's Flying for Rescue.
Flying for Animal Rescue, and thank you very much for the opportunity to tell our story and for having us on. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Have a great day, and be safe out there.
Thank you.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, it's Flying for Animal Rescue. Please go and check everything out that they have. Please donate. Like I said a million times, any little bit helps. And this is changing a lot of lives for animals and the people getting these animals too. Because if this wasn't happening, a lot of people would be without these animals and these incredible life partners. And it's so cool. And I think it's amazing. So please go check it out and everything, and please donate to him. Once again, Flying for Animal Rescue. And thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you, and God bless.